I'm Jeanette Keynes from Jewelry Arts Inc. And this is how to make a bezel ring 9. Today we're actually going to start setting our cabochons. Okay, there we are, extreme close-up. We finally have the right height. We've got enough of the stone in there. We've got our little wire in there as like a little tummy holder because this stone has a little curve on the bottom. And now we're ready to set. Setting usually takes less time than all the prep and the setup, but that's pretty much true for almost all of our activities. So we're ready to set. Yay! We've got our bezel roller. You know, I always have to do a little shenanigans around my favorite setting tool. But the basics of bezel setting are the same as always. Tool should fit in the palm of your hand with your thumb and your forefinger on either side, just like that. And when we start setting, our tool should be at 45 degrees, okay? The most common mistake is that people put their angle too low, like this, and then what happens is actually you kind of eject the stone. You want your angle to be high enough that it's pushing the bezel in and the stone sort of down in, okay? And one thing you can do to make sure you're up at the right angle, or the correct angle, which it's also a right angle almost, put your elbow up in the air, okay? Because in other words, if you're down here setting like this, I can guarantee you your height is not correct. Put your elbow up in the air. I'm gonna set myself up right like this. I'm gonna put my my finger or my thumb on top of the stone because right now it's not, you know, held in at all. And I'm just gonna press in. Just like so. Oops. Squeeze it a little tighter on the jett-sett. Okay. And since this is a long oval, we'll start at the thinner ends, at the corners. Okay, press in. See what I mean? And then I'm going to go boop, boop, boop. And you just do a series of opposing presses. Because you don't want to, in other words, like...
You're not working your way around, you're opposing.
Yes, exactly. Now, if you have a stone with corners, you work the corners first. But in this case, not really. So we're just going to start with the skinnier ends and then work our way around. Okay, so now that I've done here and here, I'm going to go here and here. And maybe come in and just take a quick close-up of that. So I've just done 2 sets of opposing presses, top and bottom, side to side, and now I'll do the off angles, and we just keep working it in until there's really no gap left. That's when you can really start sliding your tool side to side a little bit and smoothing everything out.
Okay.
Well, it's lovely to see you. Okay, take like this, press in. You can go back and forth just a little bit. Okay? Press in, back and forth. And you see these are not big motions either. And I'm working right around the middle of the tool. That's why it helps to have a wider tool like this, because even if you slide side to side a little bit, which you will, you're still on the tool.
Staying,
That's
right.
Really the sweet spot, is this center section right in here. Okay? So I just want you to keep going, press in, back and forth. You're gonna go around and around, and we're gonna be looking for a couple things. We're gonna be looking for no gaps, and we're also gonna be looking for no wiggle when we give it the high-tech finger test, which is just like this. Once you feel like you're at that point, like I don't see any more spaces, I don't have any more wiggle, we'll probably then move our angle up a little higher and maybe do that little two-handed hammering technique that we've done before, but I'll show you again, just as like a final finishing. But basically, that's it.
Okay, I'm ready.
I hand the baton over to you. Okay, there it is. So that looks really good. There's a few tiny little spaces right next to the bezel. So we're gonna go into like stage 2, which is the two-handed hammering technique. And I just wanna point out here, beep, you see that little, that means that, you know, we had a little slippage and binged it a little bit. So if you didn't have the tape there, that would be much more beat up. And the lesson we were just discussing is everybody slips. It's a thing. Just accept it and make provisions for it. All right, just to show a little overzealous hammering, pop the little stone out, but never fear, we can rebuild.